Don't buy anyone's car.
It's a lesson learned for both of us. We'll just move on.
Last night's storm didn't clear out the inversion. Actually, the fog is thicker. We have an approaching storm. What will that storm do? I'll let you know in the forecast.
You can see it, you can smell it, you can pretty much taste it. Why doctors say we all need to be concerned when it comes to bad air.
A new campaign in Tooele City aimed at helping parents broach the subject of drinking with their teenagers to prevent binge drinking. More on that coming up.
Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13's Live at 4.
First on Fox 13, if you thought the storm this morning may have provided some relief from the inversion, think again. This time lapse from our Salt Lake Tribune camera shows all kinds of fog in the air. So when will we see clearer skies? That's a million-dollar question.
Yeah, it is. Fox 13 meteorologist Breck Bolton's in the Weather Center with the first alert forecast. And Breck, you'd think that this kind of weather would clear out the air.
We talked about it yesterday. We didn't think this storm would do the trick. If you recall from last night, I said you really need 3 ingredients from a storm to mix out the inversion. You need to have the winds, you need to have the precipitation, which we got, but you need colder air aloft. This storm coming in from the south brought warm, moist air, and that really thickened up the fog. We're seeing that result right now. Giving you a view from our Old Mill camera as we're looking from Cottonwood Heights northward. Visibility limited. Now, we're not seeing this cloud deck or this fog right at the surface. We really would have some problems with visibility. Now, this storm did have some benefits and mainly bringing rain across most of northern Utah, anywhere from over ½ inch in Fruit Heights to about £1/4 inch in Orem, and even snow accumulations across some of the northern valleys. Now, as we look at the air quality, it's still not good, but it is better than what we saw yesterday at the same hour. That rain kind of doused or diluted the pollutants, but what it did is provide really a lot of moisture at the surface. And because of the inversion, trapping in that cold air, these cloud or this fog developed across most of northern Utah. So again, air quality still for most locations a moderate concern level versus yesterday we were in the unhealthy and looking into the red category for a period of time. So again, the pluses and minuses of the storm, a little break from the pollution, but again, the fog in place, and we're seeing limited visibility across northern into western Utah. Some very thick fog out towards Wendover, so traveling along I-80 as you head westward will be a concern. Now, we're not seeing the showers as we saw last night. They're moving on. We've got upper level clouds as well, so it's just really gray out there, and this fog is in place. We have another storm on the way. Will this one do the trick to really clear us out? We'll answer that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Breck, thank you. Despite this morning's storm, bad air continues to plague places along the Wasatch Front.
As Fox 13's Elle Thomas reports, doctors say the inversion impacts all of us negatively, not just certain groups.
From where I'm standing, you should be able to see the Salt Lake skyline clear as day, but right now, nothing. We hear it time and time again. Bad air is bad for certain groups, kids, elderly, those with pre-existing conditions. But the reality is, we all need to be aware. You can see it, you can smell it, you can almost taste it. When it comes to bad air quality, Salt Lake City is no stranger.
It's a much greater problem than just a breathing problem.
The forecast may say unhealthy for certain groups, but doctors say that's all of us.
We need to clear up some of the misconceptions about it, and that's one of them. This air quality is not a problem for just sensitive groups. It's a health hazard for everyone.
Think of it this way. When you breathe this air, it's like smoking cigarettes.
It affects all the critical organs. It affects brain function, it affects heart function. It's even a provocateur of cancer.
And while inversion may not last forever, its impact on your health could.
Some of the particles we're inhaling are still inside our body for as long as 2 to 3 months later. They're causing biological damage.
Dr. Minch says there are a few things you can do to try and protect yourself. You can buy an air purifier for your home or wear a mask when you're out in public. Of course, you can always find up-to-date air quality reports on the DEQ website. In Salt Lake City, Elle Thomas, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Fox 13 News will keep you up to date on the inversion. Get the latest on air on the Fox 13 Facebook and Twitter pages and online at fox13now.com. In other news, police in Cedar City are looking for someone who burglarized the Pizza Hut. Our partners at the St. George News report that sometime after midnight Wednesday, the suspect or suspects broke in and stole a safe as well as an undisclosed amount of cash. No one was hurt. If you know anything about the crime, Call Cedar City Police.
New at 4, friends and loved ones of a California couple killed in Moab last week are now raising money to support the couple's family. The Amamatos were with their 30-year-old son last Friday when they fell into the bowl below Delicate Arch and died. Rangers say trail conditions were rainy and snowy, but the cause of the fall is unclear. So far, donations have been pouring in for the couple. An initial goal was set for $2,000, but people have already donated almost $12,000 so far. We do have a link to the GoFundMe page on our website. Find it at fox13now.com.
The Logan City Council has banned single-use plastic bags. The City Council voted Tuesday night to implement the ban after considering it for almost a year. Supporters say it'll help extend the life of landfills and help the environment. The ban makes Logan, Utah's largest city to implement such a policy.
It's a very difficult decision, I will say, because I do recognize the impact it has on our businesses, and I do recognize that many of our residents view this as kind of an infringement on their right to choose to use plastic bags or to bring those home with them and reuse them themselves for garbage cans or walking their dog.
Park City and Moab have passed similar measures. Murray and Salt Lake City have contemplated their own bans. The legislature has tried and so far failed to block plastic bag bans.
Millard County commissioners have implemented a ban on large-scale hog farming operations. Commissioners voted to approve a moratorium in the face of a citizen ballot initiative planned for next year. David and Holly Remkus are sponsoring that initiative that would ban large-scale hog farms in all of Millard County.
We want farming. We just don't want to pose a threat to our way of life and our health.
Confined, concentrated animal feeding operations are controversial because of their size as well as their environmental impact. The commission recently rejected a zoning change for a large-scale hog farm near Delta. The Utah Farm Bureau says it opposes the initiative because it goes too far and interferes with private property rights.
Some concerned citizens in Tooele are launching a campaign to prevent underage drinking.
Fox 13's Scott McCain shows us what steps are now being taken to spread the important message.
It can be a touchy subject for parents to broach with their children, especially as they reach middle and high school age. But this new campaign here in Tooele City, well, it hopes to really promote those conversations and ultimately prevent teenage binge drinking.
It's awareness and conversation and working together and just not being afraid to talk about uncomfortable topics.
The Community That Cares organization, or CTC, is trying to do that through a series of public service announcements. In particular, they're putting messages on school buses reminding parents that it's basically their homework to warn kids about the dangers of alcohol in a young, developing brain.
Bright yellow, visible billboards. We're already driving those miles. Let's get the word, let's get the messaging out.
And the reason they're doing it is because officials here in Tooele say between 2017 and 2019, they've noticed an uptick in binge drinking in children, in particular in 8th grade, 10th grade, and 12th grade. Binge drinking is defined as having 5 or more alcoholic drinks in a 2-hour period. Officials know that most parents lead hectic lives, but they also know kids are often going through tough times and sometimes don't know where to turn. Organizers hope this all serves as a reminder for parents.
Keeping the alcohol away and then educating them and monitoring them, watching the children, being involved in their life, being able to understand the struggles the children are going through and what support they need from their parents. And so rather than be turning to alcohol, they can turn to their parents for the help that they need when they're feeling down.
Officials locally and nationally say there's overwhelming evidence to show that the more parents are involved in their children's lives and the more they're able to tell them about the dangers of drinking, the less likely those teenagers are to drink and the less likely they are to binge drink. In Tooele, Scott McCain, Fox 13 News, Utah.
The June sucker species of fish that calls Utah Lake home has been considered an endangered species for decades.
But now the June suckers have just passed a major milestone on the road to recovery. Today, the Utah Department of Natural Resources put hundreds of June suckers back into Utah Lake. It celebrates the work done to downlist now the species from being endangered to being labeled as threatened.
We've been able to raise and introduce over 800,000 June sucker back into the lake. Not all of those have survived, but we've got thousands of fish out here now where we only had 300 20 years ago.
Quite a boost in the numbers. The DNR says human population growth, a change in habitat, and the introduction of non-native species of fish to Utah Lake impacted the June sucker population dramatically. They say they have worked hard to keep things under control to prevent the death of more June suckers. One Utah boy's idea for his Eagle Scout project is now helping many children at the Utah School for the Deaf and Blind.
He raised funds to donate dozens of canes for the visually impaired. This morning, 17-year-old Cameron Evans presented 71 canes to the Utah School for the Deaf and Blind. Cameron collected part of those canes through an Amazon wedding registry he set up. Other canes were purchased with cash donations.
It's great having Cameron, put in the work. It's not easy to get funds and stuff like that, and to form it in the Eagle Scout project. This is going to be a great Eagle Scout project he's going to remember for a long time.
Cameron also used donations to buy games such as Uno in Braille for the students.
What prompted House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to tell a reporter not to mess with her? I'm Ray Bogan. We'll show you the tense exchange coming up.
And a scary situation in the skies for one news crew in California. We'll show you why they had to make an emergency landing.
And open enrollment for health insurance is happening right now. But do you know what benefits you're signing up for? Representatives from Select Health are standing by until 5 o'clock to answer your questions. Just call 1-855-242-4677 to get your questions answered.
Surprise! A new Buick?
To James, from James.
Hey, is this a new Buick? I Secret Santed myself.
I shouldn't have. I have been very good this year.
I love it. I love it.
Don't forget you this holiday season. Celebrate the holidays with 25% below MSRP for current eligible non-GM owners and lessees on most 2019 Encore models. That's just over $6,700 below MSRP on this 2019 Encore Preferred.
Investigations, lies, a witch hunt. The radical left will stop at nothing to impeach President Trump. Better trade deals, delayed. Stronger borders, obstructed. Funding for our troops, incomplete. A do-nothing Congress focused on a witch hunt. And your Congressman Ben McAdams is siding with them. So call Congressman McAdams. Tell him to end the witch hunt. Oppose impeachment. Put America first.
At Speedway, we're always looking out for you. That's why we invest in industry-leading technology like our fast and secure pumps, equipped with state-of-the-art card readers, with the latest advances in credit card security to keep your information safe at thousands of Speedway locations, so you can get what you need and get on your way.
Now, save 10 cents per gallon of gas when you use your Speedy Rewards card.
The tree's decorated and the tinsel is hung, which means it's time to wrap up your holidays with RC Willie's huge store-wide sale.
We can help you get your home ready for holiday entertaining and guests. This queen bedroom set is $14.99 and this set is $16.99. Save now on top brand mattresses and get a Nintendo Switch Lite with purchase of select mattresses. This iComfort Queen mattress is just $10.99 and includes a Nintendo Switch Lite. Save now on dozens of gifts and wrap up your holidays with RC Willie.
Hey, Salt Lake City area, get online at littlecaesars.com and create your favorite 3-topping pizza for just $6.99. Then get it delivered or use our heated pizza portal pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on Fox 13.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi gave the go-ahead this morning for articles of impeachment to be drafted against President Donald Trump.
This comes a day after the House Judiciary Committee held its first public hearing in the inquiry. Fox's Ray Bogan has the latest from Washington.
It's clear the House is moving to impeach President Trump, though we still don't know when. But House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is adamant it's the right move, even telling a reporter who questioned her motives, "Don't mess with me."
Do you hate the president, Madam Speaker? Because Representative Collins, Representative Collins, reason I ask.
A reporter's question stopped the Speaker of the House in her tracks. But she says despite their differences, impeaching President Trump is not about personal politics.
This is about the Constitution of the United States.
President Trump reacted, "Nancy Pelosi just had a nervous fit." She says she prays for the president. I don't believe her. He says he's not concerned impeachment could stain his legacy.
No, not at all. It's a hoax.
Congressmen are still reacting to Pelosi's announcement for committee chairmen to draft articles of impeachment.
Today, with the Speaker's announcement, she has weakened this nation.
The Speaker spoke for our caucus. I think she spoke for the urgency of action.
There's no set schedule for holding a vote. Congress is being told to keep the weekend of December 21st open. But for what isn't certain. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell left the Senate schedule open in January. There's a possibility for an impeachment trial. The House still has other business to attend to over the next couple of weeks. They need to pass a spending bill by December 20th to prevent a government shutdown and get a vote on the U.S.-Canada-Mexico trade deal. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
Investigators are trying to figure out a motive in a deadly shooting at a Pearl Harbor naval shipyard. They say an active duty sailor opened fire, killing 2 civilian workers before taking his own life.
Over the intercom, there was an anti-terrorist force protection incident. That's really all we heard.
Yeah, we're on our way out in an Uber, and then he just everything was on lockdown.
Right now, police are not identifying the shooter, but do say he was assigned to the USS Columbia, which is at the yard for maintenance. Another civilian worker was hurt, but is expected to be okay. The shooting comes just a few days before Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
Listen to this. A news helicopter in Los Angeles collided with what is believed to be a drone overnight. KABC's chopper was flying just east of downtown LA at about 1,100 feet when the crew on board heard a pop and then a loud bang. The object punched a hole in the helicopter's tail right there, and the pilot had to make an emergency landing. The news crew was not hurt. The FAA is investigating.
Scary situation there. Yesterday at Salt Lake International, we had issues with planes taking off and incoming as well because of the fog. And
which the fog was right at the surface. So think of like a cloud. If it's right at the surface, you really have poor visibility. Today, you're seeing the fog. It's a little bit lifted, just a bit. So we're seeing along the benches a little bit more less visibility, I should say. And we did help the pollution out a little bit with that rain hitting, and it cleared things out, and the storm leaving a nice mark across at least central, southern, and eastern Utah.
That looks nice.
Doesn't it?
Right now?
Yeah.
When was this taken in Moab?
This was just about 10 minutes ago.
Get out of here.
Yeah. No, if we could get away from the fog and the inversion having an impact. The thing of it is when you bring in that rain, it really makes things damp. And the inversion trapped in that cold air, so the combination of the cooler temperatures and all that water, it's a vicious cycle for sure. Less pollution in the air, but quickly with the inversion still in place, the pollutants from today with people driving and so forth, yeah, that pollution does become a problem. Air quality will diminish once again as we look towards tomorrow. Now here's a view up in Cache Valley. We've got the fog in place. Again, especially on the benches heading up through some of the canyons, that visibility is very limited. Let's take a look at visibility right now where you can see a mile or 2 miles across most of northern Utah. So the impact of the fog really is still along the Wasatch Front where the inversion has been strong here over the past 3 or 4 days. Now temperatures again, remember yesterday we had temperatures in the 40s up in areas such as Park City, Morgan, and low 30s in Salt Lake City. Today, it's a little bit not as big of a spread then. So the inversion, again, lifting a little bit, but it didn't do the trick. So most counties in the moderate concern category, where yesterday they were in the orange unhealthy, tomorrow we're going back there because, again, we're not mixing out. So the combination of 2 days of pollution, again, from our driving and other factors as well, we'll be looking at increasing haze and fog once again. So the patchy fog is not lifting. We'll keep it overnight, and it could get fairly dense, especially as we cool off the temperatures. And again, we have damp conditions at the surface. So air quality still a concern Friday and probably into Saturday. As we're looking at our next storm system, a little delay. It's going to get here late Saturday through Sunday. So no current watches and warnings across the state. We have air quality alerts, though, as you look in southern Idaho and portions of Oregon as well. Now, we still have some clouds across northern into eastern Utah, but some of that gray also indicates the fog and the cloud deck that's just socked in across most of the valleys along the Wasatch Front. Our next storm, though, it's off the west coast. High pressure in place. This is not a good situation when you have high pressure, where already we have inversions in place, as it will remain stagnant. We're going to be kicking up the winds a little bit going from Friday into Saturday. This storm looks to be more impressive than last night's storm. Now, if you recall, last night's storm coming in from the south brought warmer air. This one looks to bring some colder air, especially above where we're seeing that cloud deck. That helps out. Let's confirm things out in time when the storm's going to hit, where we look at our computer models and the clock. Let's roll through Friday. Again, that high pressure will be in place. We'll see some sunny skies across central, southern, eastern Utah. We'll hang on to the fog, though, across the north. Saturday afternoon, we start kicking up the winds. That's going to be helping. And then Saturday night through Sunday, we start bringing the showers. Notice, at least across northern Utah, we'll start off with some rain, and then rain changing into snow Sunday night through Monday morning. Then we get this cold northerly flow, so above or air aloft, bringing that colder air will help mix things out. So we're more optimistic for sure with this second storm hitting over the weekend, as it'll be out there by Monday morning, and then we'll start seeing clearing conditions. Now tonight, fog. Overnight lows in the 20s. We'll look at partly cloudy skies across the south. Tomorrow, it's partly cloudy to partly sunny skies, central and southern Utah. Again, above the clouds, you can see a little break, well, maybe some blue sky, but for the valleys, we will not get that view at all, as we'll be hanging on to the fog. Now, for St. George, you're going to get rain from this next storm. We'll keep temperatures in the 50s, and once we get past the weekend, it looks to be dry. And for northern Utah, as we go through fog and then haze, increasing the pollutions into Saturday afternoon. Then Sunday, we see the rain, a mixture of rain and snow, and then some snow showers early Monday morning. Again, we should be clearing it out. We'll see some sunny skies, especially as we look towards Tuesday.
Still ahead, Utah has long been known for its hardline stance on alcohol, but on this day in history, it made a historic move when it came to laws on alcohol. We'll tell you all about it coming up.
Hey, what's up? I'm Fox 13's Big Buddha. Every day at 1 o'clock, you can find me right here on The Place. What is The Place? It is the best lifestyle show, hands down. Bam!
The Cowboys are pushing for the playoffs on Fox. MVP candidate Dak Prescott brings Dallas's explosive offense to prime time. Touchdown, Dallas! When they face Chicago at Soldier Field. Cowboys, Bears, Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
On the economy, a unique leader, Mike Bloomberg's created over 400,000 jobs. As president, an opportunity economy that works for us. Tax fairness, where the wealthy pay their fair share. Education, affordable college and high-skill vocational training so people can succeed in the new economy. Economic security, lower-cost health care, and affordable middle-class housing. Proven leadership on jobs to build an economy where people don't just get by, they get ahead.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
This season of savings is here. Celebrate clearance pricing and the Happy Holiday sales event with your Utah Honda dealers.
I'm so happy.
Get ready for the snow with the entire lineup of all-wheel drive Hondas. Clearance pricing on the all-wheel drive CR-V, Pilots, and HRVs, starting at only $189 a month. Happy Honda Days from your Utah Honda dealers. See all the clearance offers at UtahHondaDealers.com.
I'm so happy.
1 in 8 Utahns struggle with hunger. Smith's is working to change that with their Zero Hunger, Zero Waste initiative. In addition to raising funds for those who need and coordinating efforts to eliminate food waste, Smith's is teaming up with Fox 13 to recognize local organizations in Utah who share that goal. By honoring a Zero Hunger hero each month, we hope to raise awareness and encourage everyone to join the fight to eliminate hunger and food waste. Because it'll take all of us to get to zero.
Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me nice. Woo! Merry Christmas, baby. You sure did treat me nice. Give me a diamond ring for Christmas.
everyone. It is open enrollment time, and today we have experts from Select Health here answering your questions. It is a free call, the number right there on your screen. I have Joan White with me from Select Health. Joan, what sort of things should people be thinking about right now, or questions that maybe they can call in and ask?
Well, some things that they may be able to call in and ask is find out if their provider's on a certain network, to find out if they qualify for a subsidy based on their income. They might qualify through the Affordable Care Act, healthcare.gov, Federal Marketplace, and we'll be able to give them an idea of whether they qualify for that.
You know, and that's important for people that aren't aware of those subsidies perhaps available to them. It's basically a discount or money that you would receive off your monthly premiums. Did I explain it well enough?
Yes, that's perfect. Exactly. It's a reduction of premium that you would have to pay monthly, and it helps people out in certain financial situations.
And that's available for both individuals as well as families?
Yes.
Looking for insurance?
Yes, individuals and families.
Okay. There's a very important date, that deadline coming up. Tell people.
December 15th, which is 10 days away. That's next Sunday. And so you've got to make sure to sign up by the 15th of the month, or you will not be able to sign up during open enrollment will be over.
So that's it. You've missed the window. You won't be able to assign yourself any health insurance for next year.
That's correct. They'll have to wait till the next open enrollment in 2020.
And especially if you want to maybe take part in some of those subsidies, why not?
Exactly.
Can't hurt to try. If people actually call the number right now, will the experts here be able to give them an idea if they would qualify for something?
Yes, they would. They're all prepared for those types of questions.
What else do you think people need to really be thinking about and investigate before making a decision on which health insurance to go with?
Some of the big decisions is your provider network, stability, local companies, and excellent customer service. And that's what Select Health is known for, is excellent customer service here in the area.
And I think this is such a great resource today. Again, our free call is because you can tell one of our experts specific things about your family, and you have a chronic health condition, or maybe a child does, and they can really gear you, or steer you, I should say, in the right direction, and which plan may be better than what maybe you originally thought.
That's exactly right. Our sales team are geared to answer those questions.
I know when you think of health insurance, at least for me and my family, I always think, oh, the money, the expense. But this is why we brought you all in, to help people out with that. We don't want you to be scared of that. There is coverage, there is plans in all price ranges for all situations.
That's correct. That's correct.
Again, the phone bank will be open for you until 5 o'clock this evening. Completely a free call, absolutely no pressure. We just want to help you out and give you some information. Remember, December 15th, you have to sign up before then. So, Joan White and our complete Select Health Board of Experts phone bank here. Thank you for being here this evening. Hopefully, I'm sure you're helping a lot of people.
Thanks.
Yeah. Bob.
All right, Kelly and Joan, thanks so much. Coming up at 4:30, the smell in the cities of Orem and Vineyard have been around for months. Will it ever go away? Fox 13 News is getting answers. And there may be some delays when it comes to your tax refund next year. We'll explain why.
At El Pollo Loco, you can expect more fire-grilled, more sea salt crunch, more creamy queso, and more is what you get with our chicken nachos. One of the new $5 fire-grilled combos. El Pollo Loco, feed the flame.
Now, this is